Hello, welcome back to school. This is going to be a real quick little hodgepodge of an update of pretty much everything we're working through just to kind of help myself and help my teacher and help my magister. Well, I don't think he needs help, but just to kind of get myself and possibly you guys all in order. Um, First, it is sometime, it's almost the end of January of 2025, and I'm really bad about like this whole thank you for all the subscribers and the comments and the encouragement. I'm just, I'm not, it's not that I don't like care about that, but it's just, I'm just not good at doing that sort of stuff. Um, so, but I just wanted to extend that out to say that I'm not just like ignoring you all. Um, so, I'm just gonna go running through the list of when we do the different stuff or yeah, we'll just start from the top. Okay. Mathematics. I don't think we've done mathematics since like December of 2024. Like I did some review pages and I'm looking to see if I could find my textbook. Is it this book? Hold on. Yes. So I did some pages in Braille using this, or I I did some pages in this book use in Braille. Yeah. In December. I'm still waiting for grades on those because they just have not yet been marked. I think they got lost in an email pile or something. December was just really busy. That we did talk about that, and he's working on that. Teacher's working on that. We haven't started anything new. We when we do start class like book work again, we're going to be working more in depth with the number 12. The past several weeks, when we've had class, we've been working with review work, mainly like adding 2 to the different numbers, like 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 2 to 6, and then like subtracting 6 less 2, 5 less 2, so on and so forth. I haven't really done any review work or anything in that sense. So, teacher did set some worksheet page for me to work through, to kind of have review work with the flashcards, and he added some other stuff too, like counting by threes and counting by fours, which we haven't studied yet, but I'm just gonna use my cute little table here. I'm not even real good at counting by twos, but that's what I'll be working through. I need to see when I'm gonna have time to do that. But that is basically where we are with mathematics. Once I get my homework returned marks back, I will put these books back on the shelf, and then we'll pull out my favorite set of books, which is the TFSN book. I don't know why, but I love that book. That's the first steps in number. And so that book, we started that book like last year, and then we're continuing through it. A lot of these books we've started from last year, and then we're adding, and then like we just continue working through them because I don't want to have like the whole chunk of the book being done and not understanding what I'm working through. So there's a whole mess of books we're working through for mathematics, lots of review, lots of literally old school work that we're doing. Well, I'm doing. He's not doing. Teacher's not doing really anything but just setting the work and making sure I understand it and stuff. So that is that's mathematics. So I will be posting maths homework either, I'm thinking probably tomorrow. I don't know. I need to really set a schedule and see how to do that. Okay. Next subject is reading and writing, and we're using this is specifically with Braille. So like I could look through these words and read them and stuff in this book with the print, but we're transcribing this into Braille, and then we do like a cold read, and then I'll do a couple readings over the week for the next class, and then we'll do another read, and usually the scores improve and things. But I haven't done a whole lot of reading. We've actually been doing review work with all the lessons that we've covered. We have a spreadsheet or something that has a lot of the words and the letters and the contractions and the punctuations, and basically we're just going through those, and we're using the Braille balls, which I don't know if I've ever showed you guys the Braille balls. So these are these are the Braille balls. They're just little, I think they're like an inch and a quarter. I don't know. Little, they're almost like ping pong balls, but they're made of styrofoam. And then these are just egg cartons cut in half. And I use the clear ones because they're easier to see the balls and things. So that's what we do for, that's what we're doing right now. It's something that doesn't require paper. It doesn't require vision and all that stuff. And it's fun. It's a fun review thing that we're doing for that. Once we get done with that, we'll be moving on to, I think it's lesson 19 or 18, somewhere around there. But that is reading and writing using Braille. Let me see here. Music. I have a couple things going on with music. Currently, I am helping teacher with reading printed notation so that he could help me with Braille notation. Luckily, I didn't have to do this for literacy because I would be up a creek without a paddle. But this is the book we're working through. I don't want to lose my page because I still need to mark down what we did today. But here, I think that is a cover page. It's just a little catechism that teaches the rudiments of music. So we're more than halfway through the book. We kind of had to take a little detour with the time signatures because how that book explained time signatures, I, as a musician, I couldn't even understand it. So we used some other books, but we were able to get around it. And so we're working through that. We're working on the concepts of understanding what key signatures are. And we are kind of at a halting point with like what a major third is and what a minor third is. And then we're kind of just at that point. I don't know what else is in that chapter, but we're just kind of taking it one page at a time. After we get through with that, we did talk a little bit about this. We're probably going to, I've got a bunch of books here on the floor. They're kind of like reminders for me to make a video because I'm going to make request, and I just haven't had time to make that. But that's what all this stuff is on the floor. Um, this is the book we're looking at using for at least getting a foot wet with the Braille music book. This is this is the music book for the teacher, but this is what we're looking at using. The reason is the tunes are simple. It will be easier for me to get the concept of Braille reading because the tunes are really simple. The other reason is that it will give teacher enough practice time with recognizing, looking at notation, and, being able to associate what he knows as far as these tunes into actual notation, because anyone can sing the tune, but if they're looking at it in music notation and they don't know how to read it, it could just kind of be like, I don't know what that says. So, because he knows Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and things like that, like he can hum them, he can then be able to look at the music and see, oh, well, those two notes are the same. That note goes up, and, apply some, start to apply the stuff that we have been working on with, the little catechism book. So we are hopefully looking at February, somewhere around February, to start diving into some of the Braille stuff. I don't know if that's going to be like full on or what's going to happen, but somewhere around the first, maybe second week of February, we'll be we'll be starting with the Braille, which is nice. Let me see here. So that is Braille music. Let's see. We haven't done a whole lot in the realm of piano technique, but we're working through, I think it's called the fundamentals of piano technique. We're at like some wrist thing. that's like last sight I recognize, that I know that we're at, but that's kind of where we're setting at with technical stuff. Let's see, organ, I've got a couple different projects for that, which everything is shoved in my bag. Hold on, let me get this stuff out. Okay, I just remembered all my organ music is sitting at the organ. Like, not on the organ, but at the organ in that area. So I won't be able to show you guys what I'm working on. Well, actually, I might. Hold on. I am working on. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm working on a toccata. Let me look through here and see. Okay, so this is the toccata. Let me flip this. You guys probably can't see that very well, can you? Yeah. I'm gonna do a big zoom in there. So this is the toccata that I'm working through. I'm almost done with the first page. I did look at the second section here with the arpeggios thingies. I did look at that. I'm going to have to review it because it's been a long time since I've looked at it, but essentially that section is kind of learned. But I've got a couple staves up here, and then I'll pretty much just be solidifying everything. So that is one piece. The other piece, I'm trying to think. Oh, it's a fugue. I don't have a hard copy of it, but it's the little fugue in G minor. So I'm kind of working my way through that. I really don't think I'm going to have that learned anytime soon. But yeah, we'll we'll see what happens. Um, a lot of it is just lack of guidance. I don't have my structure is just totally up the creek without a paddle. Because I really don't have anyone helping me right now. I don't know what happened to my organ teacher. Yeah. He says that we might be able to get back together in February, but I'm not hanging my hat on it. The other thing I'm working on is um liturgy. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, so this is the organ copy of the Lutheran hymnal. It's what I'm learning it from. And I am learning the one on page 15, which I don't know if that's 15. That looks like 15. No, yeah. Yes. This is the one I'm learning. I'm not I have like an actual organ liturgy book. It doesn't have all the hymns, it just has the liturgy. It's easier for me to handle. This thing I actually use for like analysis. Let me see here if I could find a example. Here's one. I think. So yeah, this is a hymn I learned, and I tried to analyze it because, yeah. So this is what I'm working on. I can play this kind of. I can play this kind of. I can play this kind of. I think there's a little bit. I can play this kind of. Last time I was at the organ, I skipped. This is the Gloria Patri. I skipped this because I had a splitting headache and I wasn't feeling well. I kind of looked at. This is the Kyrie. I kind of looked at the Kyrie, but then I got bored with looking at that. So then I started looking at the Gloria, which I think I got a little bit further, but I think by the time I was working on this, I was like already kind of tired and it was getting late and the sun was starting to set and it was really cold and stuff. I don't know. But I was actually, no, it was still daylight when I left, but I just needed to go and sleep or something. But I'm going to try to look at this again today. I do need to figure out how to get this other stuff in my head. The thing that's weird, I wouldn't say weird, but I'm trying to find like cohesiveness between these because they're not like in the same key. And they are just literally just like little snippets of music. And it's hard to keep all this in my head without like a context, if that makes any sense. So I need to figure out how to I know how to memorize it. It's just memorizing it. And trying not to push myself too fast, because I think I feel like I'm trying to work on this faster than I can, if that makes any sense. And then I don't learn it well, and then I just screw myself over because I didn't take the proper time I need to actually learn well what I need to learn. Because when I'm looking at notation or when I'm practicing or playing, I don't look at I don't look at books like this. I don't look at paper music. Everything is done by memory. And it's oral memory, tactile memory. If I'm able to throw in theory, like theoretical knowledge, I'll do that. But a lot of it is just hanging on oral and tactile memory, um, and a lot of repetition. Um, so that's one of the reasons that when I do practice, there's a lot of repetition of the same stuff, because I can't just look at the music and sight read it like a majority of sighted musicians can. So that's kind of what's going on. And I often feel really bad for the pastor because, like, his office is at the head of the church area, and he has to pass through the sanctuary, and I'm practicing, and yeah. Um, I he says it's okay, but I think it's just like my self-consciousness, like I just feel uncomfortable about it, but he says it's okay, so I have to trust that it's okay. Um so that is organ. Um the last subject on our list, because it's the last class that I have for the week, is Latin. We have moved Latin from Wednesday to Friday due to a, a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go into that, but Latin's been moved to Friday, and it's kind of a good thing because um, my Wednesdays were just really, really booked. I had choir, um, I've got a Bible study I do. There's a social group after that. There's just a lot of stuff going on. Um, and it was just back to back stuff, and it was just not good for me. And Magister had said something came up on his end that is, kind of basically impeded on our Latin time. So it's like, cool, okay, we can have class on Friday. So we're having class on Friday. um, so Latin is really, really behind. I am really behind in Latin. Last week I didn't even do, I think at the most I did like the, what is it? The future perfect recitation of the new verbs. And that was it. And then I did the workbook pages because I just didn't get anything else done. And even that was a huge cram. So this week, or for this lesson, whatever, we're doing the perfect system for sum esse, fui, futurus, like all three tenses. So I have to memorize those. I have to conjugate those. And on top of that, because although I still passed the last quiz that I did, okay, I took off a half point. He's technically not taking grade, but I am. I took off a half point for the Latin. There was some Latin saying or something, I misspelled it or something. So he's like, well, I'm not going to mark you off for that. It's like, well, it's wrong. It's like totally the wrong, it's the wrong letter. He's like, okay, take off however much you want. It's like, okay, I'll take off a half point because I don't know. I mean, I could have took off like a fourth, but I just didn't want to throw myself in like a fractiony weird thing. But yeah, so I am noticing that I'm starting to I wouldn't say I'm not remembering stuff, but I'm starting to get things mixed up with spelling, with word meanings, things like that. So I am needing to do the workbook pages and get all of my conjugation things that I've got a bunch of, what are they called? They're called drill forms. Basically, you just write out a bunch of verbs and then you conjugate them. So I've been working through those. As I learn a new tense, I will add the new vocabulary words, and then I'll conjugate all of those on the new pages. And then for the older verb forms, I will just continue to conjugate in the new tense because all the other tenses will have been filled in from previous lessons. So that way I get constant review of conjugating the old verbs, or conjugating the new verbs in all the older tenses, but I'm also still getting that reinforcement of the new or the new tense with the old verbs. So by now I think there's at least 40 different verbs that I'm working through. 40 or 50, I forget. There's a lot. We'll just say that there's a lot. So I'm going to break those up. I also need to get better at recitation because I'm still having to think on recitation. There's a couple of the tenses. Let me see if I could find my book. I think it's the perfect form. I don't know what it is, but I just can't get the perfect form. Is that it? No, that's a textbook. Here it is. Okay, I'm pulling out my book, and I've got, like, my cards and stuff in here. Oh, and that's the other thing. My bag that I have my cards in it's just getting full. So, I'm going to have to find a spot for those. Alright, let me flip this over. So, this, I think, is... What lesson is this? I don't see what lesson this is. Oh, there it is. Lesson 11. Why don't they just put a title on here somewhere? Okay, so this must be what we did last time. The weird thing is, I really don't look at the book in class unless I'll mark down, like, the grammar stuff, the grammar questions and things that I get wrong. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, so here. So these are the grammar stuff recitation that I just didn't get right. I had to think on. So I got to review those grammar questions that I totally botched. So, I got to review those. The next couple lessons are full on, like, review pages for the 2 tests that are coming up. So, I don't think there's going to be, like, new material, but I'm hoping that we could spend that time, like, doing, like, verb conjugations at the board or recitation or something. I don't know. But I think there's going to be, like, workbook pages and stuff too. I've only had, like, 1 test, so I don't know how it's going to work out. And then we might do an oral test. I don't know. The other thing that we added, because I was just getting bored, like, really bored with the whole verb conjugation thing. I'd heard about this book. It's called Unus hold on, I can't read it. Unus duo tres, and basically, it is a textbook kind of that teaches Latin conversations. And basically, their whole philosophy is, not only are you doing conversations, but you're actually acting out what it is you're doing. So, like, there's one of them where the action literally is leaving a classroom. The teacher will tell the student to stand up, walk, exit the room, or just exit, because, I mean, they don't want to throw in too much. And then the student will actually act that stuff out. And then they will then do it again, and then they'll do everything. They will say what they're doing in the perfect, or not the perfect, but the present tense. So, like, if it's to leave a room, the teacher would say, like, Sergey, or Sergey. I'm getting my things mixed up. It would be like, Sergey Ambulo, or Sergey Ambulare, or Ambule. ambulate. I don't know how to do the imperfect or the command form of these, so I don't know how to do those. Um, and then like exit or something like that. And then the student will then act out those verbs, and then they'll do it again, and they'll say sergo, ambulo, um, exo, I think, or something like that. I don't know. Um, but basically, it's not like it's not like I don't want to have it to be like a huge big thing, but I would like to seriously, I would like to try to learn from it. Um, and so there's a bunch of different stuff. I actually, let me see here. Yeah, because I printed it off. I think this is it. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh, I don't know where it is. Oh my gosh, I had it printed off and now I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to find it. Hold on. Okay, well, that pile that I have, or the couple pages I printed off, I can't find them anywhere, so I don't even think they printed. So, but I made them like easier for me to read, and then Magister could just use the textbook when we go through the stuff. So that pretty much brings us up to where we're at right now with everything. I am going to grab my shoes on. I need to run a quick errand, and then I need to work on my Latin stuff and get that done. Or at least get it. I don't have to get it done. I just have to get it started, and that's half my problem. Um, with that, I need to find the little school bell. Oh, I'm just thinking. I think I covered everything. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So if you want to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget, ring the notification bell for all notifications.